Visits between teens in foster care and their family members are a vital part of maintaining emotional connections and creating a sense of stability. For many teens, these visits provide a chance to nurture bonds, resolve conflicts, and build a foundation for their future relationships. However, facilitating these visits requires thoughtful planning, a clear understanding of family dynamics, and adherence to state laws. Social workers such as exceptional placement staff from Lake Burn House, Aspire House, and Belonging House play a critical role in making these visits positive, meaningful, and safe. This ebook serves as a comprehensive guide for social workers and supervisors, offering practical strategies and tools to navigate the complexities of visitation in Washington State. Supporting social workers in facilitating visits. Visits between youth in foster care and their families are an integral part of fostering emotional bonds and providing a sense of normalcy. This guide is designed to equip social workers with practical tools and strategies for planning and facilitating visits, establish clear expectations to help navigate complex family dynamics, empower social workers to handle challenges effectively while promoting positive experiences for teens, ensuring compliance with Washington state laws and best practices. Following state laws ensures that visitation practices are both effective and legally sound. These guidelines align with key legal requirements, including RCW 13.34.136 and RCW 13.34.145. Laws that define visitation as part of permanency and case planning. RCW 26.44.020 and RCW 74.13.540 provisions that prioritize safety and sibling relationships. By adhering to these laws, social workers can protect the rights and safety of teens while fostering positive family relationships. These practices not only safeguard youth and families, but also provide legal and professional security for agencies and caseworkers. Prioritizing safety, well-being, and developmental needs. Teenagers, particularly those aged 13 to 18, have unique emotional, psychological, and developmental needs that must be addressed during family visits. This guide emphasizes three critical priorities. Safety. Visits should minimize potential harm or risk and prioritize the physical and emotional security of the youth. Emotional well-being. Family interactions should nurture a sense of belonging, stability, and mutual respect. Developmental growth. Visits should encourage age-appropriate autonomy, foster healthy communication, and provide opportunities to strengthen relationships. Target audience. This ebook is specifically designed for social workers and their support, with emphasis on the Lake Burn House, Aspire House, and Belonging House exceptional placement staff, the professionals directly responsible for facilitating and supervising visits. Supervisors. Those providing guidance, oversight, and support in managing complex cases. By addressing the needs of both groups, this guide aims to promote consistency in visitation practices and improve outcomes for teens in foster care. Learning objectives. By the end of this guide, you should be equipped to understand relevant Washington State RCWs governing visitation, gain a working knowledge of the laws that inform visitation practices, with practical examples to ensure compliance. Differentiate between supervised, monitored, and unsupervised visits. Learn the purpose, criteria, and goals for each type of visit, supported by real-life scenarios to guide decision-making. Establish clear communication and collaboration protocols. Develop effective strategies for setting expectations, documenting visit outcomes, and fostering collaboration among teens, families, and professional teams. This guide is a resource to help you navigate the complexities of facilitating family visits for teens in foster care. By prioritizing safety, compliance, and emotional well-being, you will play a vital role in helping these young people maintain meaningful connections and build healthier family relationships for the future.
Chapter 2. Legal Basics. Facilitating youth and family visits requires a clear understanding of the legal framework that governs these interactions. In Washington state, specific laws ensure that visits prioritize the safety, emotional well-being, and developmental needs of teens while maintaining vital family and sibling connections. This chapter provides an overview of the key legal statutes, known as RCWs, and principles, with real-world examples to illustrate how they are applied in practice. Important Washington state laws for visitations, RCW 13.34.136. Responsibilities for creating and maintaining a visitation plan. This statute highlights the responsibility of social workers to develop detailed visitation plans tailored to the needs of children in foster care. Key provisions, frequency, and location. Plans must specify how often visits occur and identify safe, appropriate venues. Flexibility. Visitation plans should adapt to the child's changing developmental and emotional needs. Monitoring. Supervision or monitoring considerations must ensure the safety of the child during visits. Regular updates. Plans should be reviewed and revised periodically to reflect the child's progress or changes in circumstances. Case example. Maria, a 15-year-old in foster care, wishes to maintain contact with her mother, who is completing a substance use treatment plan. The visitation plan includes weekly supervised visits at a neutral community center, with a social worker present to ensure safety. Quarterly reviews to adjust the plan based on the mother's progress, with the possibility of transitioning to monitored visits. Key takeaway. Flexible and regularly updated visitation plans safeguard the emotional well-being of the child while accommodating parental progress. Once RCW 13.34.145, Permanency Planning and Visitation Considerations. This law emphasizes the importance of maintaining family connections as part of a child's permanency plan. Key provisions. Visits are prioritized when reunification with parents is the ultimate goal. If reunification is not possible, sibling and extended family visits remain essential. Courts may modify visitation plans if visits are determined to be against the child's best interest. Case example. James, a 17-year-old in foster care, is being adopted but maintains a strong bond with his sister, Lily, who lives in a separate foster home. The visitation plan includes monthly unsupervised visits at alternating foster homes, shared activities such as movie nights to strengthen their sibling bond. Key takeaway. Sibling visits provide emotional stability and preserve essential family relationships even when reunification with parents is not an option. RCW 26.44.0 20 Definitions and guidelines related to child abuse and neglect. This statute provides clear definitions of abuse and neglect, guiding social workers in assessing risks and determining the appropriate level of supervision during visits. Key provisions. Social workers must document and assess any risks to the child during visits. Suspected abuse or neglect must be reported immediately. Visits should be structured to minimize the risk of trauma on the youth. Case example. Dylan, a 13-year-old in foster care due to abuse allegations, feels anxious about visits with his father. A therapeutic visitation plan includes supervised visits at a therapeutic facility, with a counselor present to provide support. Behavioral observations documenting progress in the father's interactions with Dylan. Key takeaway. Supervised therapeutic visits can help reduce emotional triggers and foster healthier parent-child interactions in cases where prior trauma exists. RCW 74.13.540. Specific provisions for sibling visits in foster care. This statute ensures that siblings in foster care can maintain their relationships, provided it is in their best interest. Key provisions. Sibling visits must occur regularly unless safety concerns exist. The frequency and format of visits must align with each child's emotional and developmental needs. Any denied visits must be justified and documented. Case example: Emily, 14, and Jason, 16, live in separate foster homes. To maintain their bond, the visitation plan includes monthly in-person visits at a park, with a social worker monitoring initial meetings, and weekly video calls to supplement in-person contact. Key takeaway: creative solutions like virtual visits help preserve sibling relationships when logistics make regular in-person meetings challenging. Key legal principles. Children in foster care have the right to maintain family and sibling relationships, family connections. Maintaining ties with family members fosters identity and belonging, which are crucial for teens in foster care. Visits should be meaningful and promote relationship building. Sibling relationships. Siblings often serve as a vital source of emotional stability. Ensuring regular visits between siblings is critical, especially when other family ties are disrupted. Example: Tyler, a 16-year-old in foster care, requested visits with his incarcerated father. The visitation plan includes monthly supervised visits at the correctional facility with a social worker present and emotional preparation sessions to help Tyler manage his feelings and expectations. Outcome: Tyler maintains a connection with his father in a structured, safe environment. Visitation plans must prioritize the safety and best interest of the child. Safety. First, all visitation plans must address potential risks to the child, implementing safeguards like supervised visits when necessary. Best interest standard. Visitation plans should consider the child's wishes. Especially for teens, emotional impacts and the child's ability to cope during and after visits, and the progress made by parents or relatives in resolving issues that led to foster care placement. Developmentally appropriate approaches. Plans should reflect the cognitive and emotional maturity of teens and encourage their involvement in decision-making when appropriate. Example: James, a teen with a strong sibling bond, benefits from a visitation plan that supports his emotional needs while fostering independence. Structured visits are designed to maintain his relationships and promote autonomy. Understanding and applying Washington State's legal framework is essential for facilitating safe and meaningful visits for teens in foster care. By prioritizing family connections, ensuring safety, and respecting the developmental needs of youth, social workers can create visitation plans that support stability, emotional growth, and long-term well-being.
Welcome to Chapter 3, Visit Types and Guidelines. Facilitating positive family connections requires careful planning, and one critical decision is selecting the appropriate type of visit. The structure of a visit can greatly impact the child's safety, emotional well-being, and developmental progress. This chapter explains the 3 main visit types: supervised, monitored, and unsupervised, offering practical guidance on when to use each and how to ensure successful outcomes. Supervised visits occur under the constant presence of a social worker or trained facilitator who observes interactions in real time. This allows for immediate intervention if necessary and ensures a controlled environment. When there are allegations or evidence of abuse, neglect, or harmful behavior, or when the child displays significant anxiety about the visit. If a parent or relative has difficulty maintaining respectful or appropriate interactions. The facilitator monitors verbal and nonverbal communication, ensuring positive and appropriate interactions. Signs of distress or discomfort in the child are noted and addressed promptly. Detailed records of specific behaviors, conversations, and emotional responses are kept for evaluation. For example, parent praised the child for sharing a story about school, which led to a positive exchange. Inappropriate behaviors are addressed calmly. If necessary, the visit may be terminated to protect the child's well-being. For instance, a parent using coercive language might be redirected to provide positive reinforcement instead. Supervised visits provide a controlled setting that fosters safety and allows for guided interactions, particularly in higher risk situations. Monitored visits involve periodic check-ins by a social worker or facilitator rather than constant observation. This format allows for more natural family interactions while maintaining oversight to ensure safety. Monitored visits are suitable when moderate risk concerns. Past safety issues have been addressed, but ongoing oversight is still necessary. Progress in treatment or skills. The parent or relative demonstrates improvement in therapy, treatment, or parenting skills. Scheduled intervals for observation, such as at the beginning, middle, and end of the visit, provide opportunities to assess family dynamics and reassure the child. Social workers take notes during check-ins, focusing on both progress and concerns. For example, during the midpoint check, the child appeared relaxed and engaged in a board game with the parent. Monitored visits strike a balance between fostering trust and maintaining enough oversight to ensure a safe environment for the child. Unsupervised visits allow for natural interactions between the child and family members without direct presence or monitoring by a social worker. This type of visit relies on demonstrated progress and trust. Unsupervised visits are appropriate when consistently healthy and appropriate interactions have been observed during prior visits. There are no known safety risks, and the child expresses emotional readiness and eagerness for unsupervised visits. Clear expectations and boundaries should be established with all parties. This includes agreeing on the location, duration, and permissible activities. For example, the visit will take place at the foster home from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Social workers gather feedback from the child about their experience, including any concerns. Families are encouraged to share their perspectives, fostering open communication. Create a safe space for teens to express their feelings about the visit. This input is crucial for making informed decisions about future visitation plans. Unsupervised visits encourage trust building and autonomy, fostering deeper family connections while maintaining safeguards for the child. Every visit should begin with clear instructions and expectations, ensuring all participants feel prepared. Establishing a positive tone helps create a comfortable environment for both the child and the family members. Visit types should be flexible and adjusted as family members demonstrate growth and reliability. For instance, a transition from supervised to monitored visits may occur as a parent or relative gains trust and meets milestones. Conversely, regressions or new concerns may require reverting to more structured visit formats. The child's preferences and emotional readiness should always be a priority, particularly when considering unsupervised visits. Teens' insights can provide valuable guidance for tailoring visitation plans to their unique needs and comfort levels. Choosing the right type of visit is a critical step in fostering positive family connections while prioritizing the safety and well-being of the child. By understanding the differences between supervised, monitored, and unsupervised visits and applying them thoughtfully, social workers can create environments that encourage healing, growth, and stronger family bonds.
Chapter 4: Communication Protocols. Effective communication is the cornerstone of a successful foster care visitation program. When all stakeholders are informed and aligned, the result is a safer, more meaningful visitation experience for children and families. This chapter focuses on establishing clear communication practices, from pre-visit preparation to post-visit debriefing, ensuring transparency, accountability, and continuous improvement. Clear and consistent communication. A structured approach to communication ensures that visitation facilitators, case managers, and families work together cohesively. Clear protocols help document progress, address challenges, and adjust plans as needed. Regular updates between case managers and facilitators. Frequency routine updates, such as weekly or bi-weekly check-ins, are essential to maintaining a consistent flow of information about the child and family's progress. Content of updates, progress reports, share detailed observations from recent visits including behavioral patterns and progress toward goals. Example: during this week's visit, the parent used active listening to engage with the child's concerns about school. Challenges. Discuss any difficulties such as strained communication or emotional discomfort during the visit. Example: the child appeared anxious during discussions about returning home. Plan adjustments. Propose modifications based on observations such as transitioning from supervised to monitored visits if progress allows. Thorough documentation of plans, observations, and outcomes. Visitation plans. Clearly outline visit details, including the purpose, type, such as supervised, monitored, or unsupervised, time, location, and all involved parties. Observations during visits. Document specific examples of interactions to provide an accurate reflection of progress or concerns. Positive example. The parent encouraged the child to share their artwork and praise their efforts. Concern example. The child was visibly upset when the parent criticized their recent grades. Outcomes. Summarize whether the visit achieved its goals and outline next steps for improvement. Standardized communication templates. Using standardized templates ensures consistency and clarity in communication across cases. Key components, visit details, include type, purpose, goals, and logistics. Participant interactions. Highlight verbal and nonverbal communication tone and body language. Safety or behavioral concerns. Note any incidents requiring attention. Achievements and milestones. Document positive moments such as collaborative play or improved communication. Recommendations. Provide actionable suggestions for future visits. Benefits. Streamlines reporting for supervisors and court evaluations. Promotes transparency and accountability among case managers and facilitators. Pre-visit preparation and post-visit debriefing. Preparing for a visit and debriefing afterward are vital for ensuring visits are purposeful and aligned with the child's and family's needs. Pre-visit preparation, setting expectations. Clarify the goals of the visit and the roles of everyone involved to reduce misunderstandings and foster a supportive environment. Example: today's visit will focus on strengthening the sibling bond through shared activities like board games. Addressing concerns for the child. Provide reassurance and discuss any anxieties they may have. Example: if you feel uncomfortable, you can tell me at any point, and we'll adjust the visit. For the family member. Set clear boundaries and explain behavioral expectations. Example: we ask that conversations remain respectful and focused on the child's needs. Post-visit debriefing. Discussing outcomes with the child. Create a safe space for them to share their feelings about the visit. Example prompts. What was your favorite part of today's visit? Is there anything you'd like to do differently next time? Listen actively and validate their emotions to build trust and gather honest feedback. With the family member, reflect on positive moments and identify areas for improvement. Example prompts. You showed a lot of patience today. How did the visit feel for you? Is there anything you'd like help with before the next visit? Documenting behavioral concerns or milestones. Behavioral concerns. Record specific incidents requiring follow-up. Example: the parent raised their voice while discussing homework, causing visible distress in the child. Milestones highlight progress made during the visit. Example: the child and parent engaged in a constructive conversation about school activities, reflecting improved communication. Key tools to enhance communication protocols. Digital communication logs. Use secure shared platforms to update case notes and visitation plans in real time, ensuring all stakeholders have access to current information. Pre-visit checklists. Create a checklist to confirm logistical and emotional preparation tasks, such as verifying the visit location and time, reviewing any recent concerns raised by the child or family member, Post-visit feedback forms provide simplified forms for children and family members to share their experiences. This feedback can offer actionable insights to improve future visits. Conclusion. Strong communication protocols are the backbone of a well-functioning foster care visitation program. By maintaining clear and consistent updates, thorough documentation, and meaningful pre-visit preparation and post-visit debriefing, social workers can ensure visits are safe, purposeful, and supportive for children and their families. Robust communication not only fosters trust, but also enables continuous progress towards stronger, healthier family relationships.
Chapter 5. Facilitation Techniques. Effective facilitation is the foundation of successful visitation between youth in foster care and their family members. A skilled facilitator creates a safe, engaging, and inclusive environment that fosters positive interactions while respecting the unique needs of the child and their family. This chapter highlights two critical aspects of visitation facilitation: strategies for engaging teens and ensuring cultural sensitivity. Together, these techniques empower facilitators to build trust, encourage meaningful dialogue, and create a supportive atmosphere. Engagement strategies for teens. Working with teenagers requires tailored approaches that recognize their developmental stage, communication preferences, and emotional needs. Facilitators must strike a balance between offering support and maintaining structure, ensuring teens feel respected and safe. Using age-appropriate communication. Teens are more likely to engage when they feel understood and respected. Adapting your communication style can enhance participation and build trust. Speak in a relatable manner. Avoid overly formal or patronizing language. Use clear, concise communication that aligns with the teen's natural way of speaking. Example: instead of saying, "Let's discuss your interpersonal communication with your sibling," opt for, "How's it been hanging out with your brother lately?" Be honest and transparent. Teens value openness and appreciate being included in conversations about plans or decisions. Avoid withholding unnecessary information. Example: I know this visit is shorter than usual, but we want to make sure you don't feel overwhelmed. Listen actively. Demonstrate genuine interest by maintaining eye contact, nodding, and paraphrasing their words to confirm understanding. Encouraging open dialogue between teens and family members. Visits are most successful when they promote natural and engaging conversations. Facilitators can play an active role in creating opportunities for meaningful exchanges. Start with icebreakers. Use simple, fun activities to reduce tension and ease into the visit. Examples: play a card game or board game together. Share a snack while chatting. Ask lighthearted questions, like, "What's the funniest thing that happened at school this week?" Model effective communication. Show family members how to ask open-ended questions or use affirming statements to encourage positive interactions. Example: "That's a great story, Tyler. Mom, what do you think about how we handled that situation?" Reinforce positive interactions. Highlight and praise moments when family members engage in supportive and caring ways. Example: "It was great how you asked about her soccer game. She really lit up talking about it." Balancing emotional support and structured boundaries. Teens thrive in environments where they feel emotionally safe yet understand the rules and expectations. Provide emotional safety. Let teens know their feelings are valid and that you are available to support them if needed. Example: "If you feel uncomfortable at any point, just let me know, and we can pause or step outside." Set boundaries for behavior. Establish clear expectations at the start of each visit. Example: "Let's agree to keep our voices calm and respectful today." Redirect behavior gently. When inappropriate behavior arises, respond calmly but firmly to guide the interaction in a constructive direction. Example: "I understand you're upset, but let's try to talk about it in a way that helps us find a solution." Cultural sensitivity in visitations. Cultural awareness is essential for building trust and creating an inclusive visitation environment. By respecting and incorporating cultural traditions and values, facilitators can make visits more meaningful and supportive. Recognizing and respecting cultural backgrounds and traditions. Every family has unique cultural norms and values that shape their interactions. Understanding and honoring these dynamics is key to fostering positive visits. Acknowledge unique family dynamics. Learn about the family's cultural traditions, communication styles, and values. Example. In some cultures, avoiding direct eye contact is a sign of respect rather than avoidance. Use culturally appropriate language. Avoid stereotypes or assumptions, and use terms that reflect the family's preferences. Example. Instead of assuming holiday practices, ask, how do you usually celebrate holidays as a family? Consult cultural experts if needed. If you're unfamiliar with a family's traditions, seek guidance from cultural liaisons or community leaders. Adapting visitation practices to cultural norms. Tailoring visit logistics to align with cultural practices can create a more comfortable and inclusive environment. Select culturally meaningful locations or activities. Choose settings or activities that reflect the family's traditions or values. Examples. Holding the visit at a community center where the family attends cultural events. Preparing or sharing a meal based on the family's traditional cuisine. Honor religious or cultural holidays. Be mindful of scheduling around important dates to respect the family's practices. Example. Avoid scheduling visits during fasting hours for families observing Ramadan. Facilitate language accessibility. If necessary, provide translation services or bilingual staff to support clear communication. Key facilitation tools. A variety of tools can support facilitators in implementing effective engagement and cultural sensitivity techniques. Teen-friendly conversation starters. A prepared list of topics can help initiate dialogue and encourage participation. Examples. What kind of music are you into lately? What's the funniest thing that happened at school this week? Cultural sensitivity checklist. Use a checklist to ensure cultural factors are considered during visit planning and facilitation. Examples. Have I consulted the family about traditions that may influence the visit? Is the visit location meaningful to the family? Positive reinforcement strategies. Reinforce small successes and milestones with affirming comments or celebrations. Examples. You handled that disagreement with your sibling really calmly today. Great job keeping the conversation positive. Conclusion. Facilitation is about more than logistics. It's about creating a supportive, respectful environment where children and families can connect meaningfully. By engaging teens thoughtfully and incorporating cultural sensitivity, facilitators can help foster trust, strengthen relationships, and make each visit a step toward family healing and growth.
Welcome to Chapter 6, Handling Challenges. Facilitating family visits for teens in foster care often involves navigating complex emotions, logistical barriers, and interpersonal dynamics. These visits can be transformative opportunities for healing and connection, but they also present unique challenges that require skillful management. This chapter provides practical strategies for addressing common difficulties, ensuring that each visit remains as constructive and meaningful as possible. Working with teens aged 13 to 18 and their families can sometimes feel like walking a tightrope. Resistance, emotional triggers, and logistical issues are among the most frequent hurdles faced during visitations. Recognizing these challenges early and addressing them with sensitivity and clarity is critical to fostering a supportive environment. Resistance is a common barrier in visitation settings. Teens might feel hesitant or unwilling to attend visits due to unresolved trauma, past conflicts, or mistrust, while family members may challenge the rules or question the need for supervision. Start by listening to the concerns of both the teen and the family members without judgment. Validate their emotions and demonstrate empathy to establish trust. For example, it sounds like you're frustrated about how things are being handled. I want to hear more so we can work through this together. Help both parties understand that visits are an opportunity to rebuild trust and strengthen emotional connections. Frame them as steps toward healing rather than obligations. For instance, these visits are designed to help you and your parent reconnect and rebuild your relationship in a safe way. While being empathetic, ensure that the rules and expectations for the visit are clear. This helps create a safe and predictable environment for everyone. For example, I understand this feels restrictive, but having supervision ensures that everyone feels safe and supported. Visits can sometimes unearth painful emotions tied to past trauma or strained relationships. These moments can lead to emotional escalations or conflicts between participants. Before the visit, identify potential emotional triggers and create a plan to address them if they arise. For example, if a teen is sensitive about discussing their school performance, ensure family members are aware and suggest alternative topics of conversation. If emotions escalate, pause the visit to allow participants to regain composure. Provide a neutral, safe space where they can express their feelings without judgment. For instance, it's okay to feel upset. Let's take a moment to breathe and then decide how to move forward. After the visit, connect participants with counseling or therapeutic resources to process unresolved emotions. For example, it might help to talk with a counselor about what came up today. Would you like me to set that up for you? Scheduling conflicts, missed visits, or inappropriate settings can derail the progress of visitation programs. These logistical hurdles often require flexibility and proactive planning. Plan ahead. Use a shared calendar system to schedule visits in advance and accommodate everyone's availability. Communicate regularly to minimize misunderstandings. For example, let's set up visits for the next month now so we can avoid conflicts. Choose neutral locations. Select visit sites that are safe, comfortable, and accessible for all participants. A neutral environment can reduce stress and promote positive interactions. For example, we've arranged the visit at the community center. It's quiet, spacious, and close to everyone. Flexible solutions. When in-person visits aren't feasible, offer alternatives like virtual visits or phone calls to maintain the connection. For example, if it's difficult to meet in person this week, we can set up a video call instead. When challenges arise, applying a structured approach to problem solving can help resolve issues efficiently and collaboratively. Step 1. Identify the root cause. Begin by assessing the situation to understand the underlying reasons behind the challenge. For example, a teen resists attending visits. After discussion, it's revealed that their reluctance stems from unresolved trauma and the fear of confronting painful memories during visits. Step 2. Develop a collaborative plan. Involve all stakeholders, teens, family members, and other professionals, in creating a tailored solution to address the issue. For example, if a family member is struggling with visitation expectations, work with them to identify support resources like parenting classes or counseling. Facilitator. Let's explore some resources that can help you feel more prepared for these visits. Step 3. Utilize mediation techniques. If tensions remain high, bring in a neutral mediator to guide the conversation and help both parties find common ground. For example, a mediator facilitates a discussion where a teen and their parent share their feelings and work toward mutual understanding. Facilitator prompt. Let's focus on what each of you needs to feel more comfortable during these visits. Scenario: a teen refuses to attend visits, citing anger toward their parent. Solution: the facilitator engages in one-on-one conversations with the teen to explore their emotions and provide reassurance. Counseling sessions are offered to the parent to address the teen's concerns. Scenario: a family member frequently interrupts the teen during conversations, causing frustration. Solution: the facilitator sets clear boundaries at the start of the visit, reminding everyone to practice active listening. If interruptions occur, the facilitator gently intervenes. Let's make sure everyone has a chance to share their thoughts. Handling challenges during family visits requires patience, empathy, and a proactive approach. By recognizing common issues and applying structured problem-solving techniques, facilitators can navigate difficult situations effectively. Each challenge is an opportunity to build resilience, foster understanding, and ultimately strengthen the bonds between youth and their families.
Chapter 7. Keeping Records. In the world of social work, documentation serves as the foundation for effective visitation management. For youth in foster care, particularly teens aged 13 to 18, well-kept records ensure accountability, transparency, and the ability to monitor progress over time. Beyond tracking logistical details, proper documentation provides valuable insights into the dynamics of visits while upholding the privacy and rights of all involved parties. This chapter will explore the essentials of record keeping, including what to document, protecting confidentiality, and tools for maintaining accurate and secure records. What to document. Comprehensive records are essential for evaluating the success of family visits and addressing any challenges that arise. By focusing on 3 core areas, visit logs, observations, and outcomes, social workers can create a thorough account of each visit's progress and impact. Visit logs. Visit logs form the backbone of visitation documentation, capturing the basic details of each meeting for procedural and legal reference. Details to include date and time, accurately record when the visit occurred. Duration, specify the length of the visit to ensure proper tracking. Participants, list all attendees and their roles, such as parent, sibling, foster parent, or social worker. Format, use standardized templates for consistency across cases. Templates ensure all critical details are captured efficiently. Example, entry date November 29, 2024. Time, 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Participants, child Jane Doe, parent John Doe, social worker Sarah Smith. Observations. Observations offer a detailed account of the interactions and behaviors observed during the visit. These notes are invaluable for identifying progress, addressing concerns, and tailoring future visits. Positive interactions highlight moments of connection, effective communication, or achievements. Example, parent praised the child for their school achievements, and the child responded positively by sharing more about their day. Concerns. Note problematic behaviors, incidents, or triggers that need attention. Example, sibling conflict arose when discussing shared responsibilities, requiring facilitator intervention. Neutral observations. Record routine or uneventful interactions to provide a complete picture of the visit. Example, participants played a board game, maintaining polite conversation throughout. Outcomes. Assessing the outcomes of a visit provides a roadmap for improvement and helps determine the effectiveness of visitation goals. Document whether the visit met its objectives. For example, the goal of encouraging open dialogue was partially achieved. The child initiated one meaningful discussion with the parent. Use observations to suggest actionable next steps. For instance, adjusting visit length, modifying supervision levels, introducing new activities to enhance engagement, or scheduling counseling or mediation to address unresolved issues. Protecting privacy. Maintaining confidentiality is a cornerstone of record keeping, especially when dealing with sensitive information about youth in foster care and their families. Adhering to privacy laws and safeguarding records ensures that trust is maintained and legal obligations are met. Adherence to privacy laws and agency protocols. Follow Washington state laws and child welfare statutes, such as RCW 13.34.100, which emphasize protecting sensitive information related to foster care. Use approved forms and secure digital platforms to document visits. Share records only with authorized personnel, such as supervisors or legal representatives. Secure storage of records. Proper storage practices prevent unauthorized access and protect sensitive information. Physical records. Store paper files in locked cabinets accessible only to authorized staff. Digital records. Use encrypted databases or case management systems with password-protected access. Conduct regular audits to monitor and maintain security. Retention and disposal. Retain records per agency guidelines, typically until case closure or as legally required. When records are no longer needed, shred physical documents or permanently delete digital files to comply with data destruction policies. Practical tools for effective documentation and confidentiality. To streamline the documentation process and ensure compliance with privacy standards, social workers can leverage the following tools and practices. Standardized templates for logs and observations. Pre-designed templates ensure consistency and efficiency. These templates include preset fields for essential details like date, time, participants, observations, and outcomes, reducing the risk of missing critical information. Confidentiality training. Regular training sessions keep social workers informed about evolving privacy laws, agency protocols, and best practices for safeguarding sensitive information. Audit and review processes. Supervisors should periodically review documentation to ensure accuracy, completeness, and compliance with legal and agency standards. Feedback from these audits can help refine documentation practices and address any gaps. Conclusion. Keeping accurate and secure records is more than just a procedural requirement. It is a vital tool for ensuring the success of family visits and protecting the rights and privacy of all involved. By documenting key details, maintaining confidentiality, and using practical tools, social workers can create a clear and reliable framework for managing visitation programs. Effective record keeping not only supports the immediate needs of families, but also contributes to long-term outcomes, helping foster care youth navigate the path toward healing and stability.
Ensuring that all attendees at family visits are safe, appropriate, and approved is critical to fostering a supportive and secure environment for youth in foster care. This chapter provides comprehensive guidance on the approval process for visit attendees, managing the dynamics of visit participation, and navigating special events or last-minute changes while upholding safety and compliance standards. Approving and managing attendees. General guidelines for approved attendees. Approval process. Mandatory approvals. Every individual attending a visit, whether supervised, monitored, or unsupervised, must receive prior approval from the caseworker managing the case. Regular updates. Approvals must be documented in the visitation referral and revisited regularly to accommodate changes in circumstances. Documentation requirements. The visitation plan should include the names, relationships, and roles of all approved attendees. For unique occasions such as holidays or birthdays, a detailed guest list must be submitted to the caseworker for review. For example, for Sarah's birthday visit, the approved guest list includes her parents, siblings, and 2 maternal aunts. Safety considerations. Caseworkers must assess the suitability of each attendee, ensuring no safety concerns, such as restraining orders, history of abuse, or other risks. All attendees must agree to follow the visitation rules and respect the boundaries outlined by the caseworker. Handling special events and changes. Expectations for special events. Special events like holidays, birthdays, or family reunions offer valuable opportunities for meaningful family connections. However, these gatherings often require additional planning and oversight. Approval and documentation. Pre-event planning. All attendees for larger gatherings must be pre-approved, and the guest list should be submitted in advance for caseworker review. Supervisor involvement. Supervisors should be informed about events involving multiple attendees to assess whether additional support or supervision is required. Example, for a holiday gathering, the approved guest list might include grandparents, aunts, uncles, and siblings, with 2 social workers assigned to supervise the visit. Enforcement of guidelines. Unapproved individuals, those not on the approved guest list, will not be allowed entry. Immediate notification. Facilitators must notify the caseworker immediately if unapproved individuals attempt to join. Handling changes to guest lists is crucial. Any last-minute adjustments to the approved attendee list must be communicated to the caseworker in advance for approval. For example, if an out-of-state relative decides to attend a family reunion, their participation must be pre-approved. Clear communication is key. Families should receive clear instructions regarding the approval process when the visitation plan is developed. Sending written reminders before special events can help ensure compliance. Enforcement and safety protocols are essential to ensure that everyone involved is protected and that the guidelines are followed correctly. Verification of attendees. Pre-visit check. Facilitators must verify all attendees at the beginning of each visit, cross-referencing with the approved guest list. Managing unapproved visitors, calmly and professionally address the situation. Deny entry to unapproved individuals. Notify the caseworker immediately, documenting the incident and awaiting further instructions. Supervision and support for larger gatherings. Additional staffing. For visits involving multiple attendees, assigning extra facilitators or caseworkers can help maintain oversight and adherence to guidelines. Active observation. Facilitators should remain vigilant, monitoring interactions to address potential issues while fostering positive connections between attendees. By establishing clear protocols for approving and managing visit attendees, social workers can create an environment where youth feel safe, supported, and connected to their families. Proper planning, communication, and enforcement of guidelines ensure these visits contribute positively to the well-being of youth in foster care.
Thank you to the dedicated teams at Lake Burien, Aspire, and Belonging House for taking the time to review this material. Your commitment to supporting youth and families is deeply valued, and your insights play a vital role in ensuring this guide serves as a meaningful and effective resource for social workers in their crucial work. This instructional guide, thoughtfully composed by Joe Hammond of Belonging House, is designed to equip social workers with the knowledge, tools, and strategies needed to facilitate meaningful, safe, and effective visits between youth in foster care and their family members. Focusing specifically on adolescents aged 13 to 18, it outlines the legal framework, visit types, communication protocols, facilitation techniques, and documentation requirements that govern these critical interactions. The guide delves into the unique dynamics of supervised, monitored, and unsupervised visits, providing practical strategies for fostering positive relationships while maintaining the safety and well-being of the youth. By addressing common challenges and offering problem-solving frameworks, it prepares social workers to navigate complex scenarios with professionalism and care. Additionally, it emphasizes the importance of cultural sensitivity, clear communication, and adherence to confidentiality standards. Interactive activities, such as case studies and role-playing scenarios, are also incorporated to strengthen the skills of social workers and promote best practices. It is my sincere hope that this guide provides meaningful insight and clarity regarding the expectations placed upon social workers and their vital responsibilities in serving youth. By fostering a supportive and structured environment for family connections, social workers can play a transformative role in the lives of those they serve, ensuring every visit contributes to healing, growth, and belonging.